Okay, Shalom. Call Hala Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Right, this is your brother Awar saying Shalom to the Akim and the Akwatim. I'm going to be watching this video. Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Barakatham. This video is going to be about wishing destruction on these heathen for them about to celebrate Thanksgiving here in Canada. I believe it's different in the States, but in Canada, Monday is going to be Thanksgiving for these heathen. Okay, and I want to get the scriptures of a little bit of scriptures of vengeance as for these against these heathen and against their wicked holiday and celebration that they have against our people. Right? Thanksgiving is a celebration for the so-called white man to celebrate his victory over the native Indians, over the children of Israel, the tribe of Gad. Okay? Those are our brothers. For you so-called Latinos and Negroes out there, we're all Israelites. And those are our brothers. We shouldn't be celebrating it, and we shouldn't be endorsing this type of wickedness over our own people. Right? So death and destruction to you Edomites and all you nations, you heathen. And if you don't repent to our people, the judgment's going to come to you guys and want to hold hands with the heathen and celebrate these wicked holidays and abominations, man. Right? It's not a secret that Thanksgiving isn't about giving thanks and being thankful for the things you have. That's the lies that the so-called white man puts over and sugarcoats and things. Right? It says Satan is transformed into an angel of light. Right? It said his Most High said his mouth is as an open sepulcher. Right? His mouth is his death. Right? He leads. He sugarcoats things and says things nice and smooth, makes it sound nice and smooth. But you go into like Christmas. You go into the meaning of it. It's wicked as hell. It's idolatry. It's pagan. Right? So let's just get straight into the scriptures. All right. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 7. Right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. Right? What you see is all these nations, different nations in heathen, they come up in here, into America and Canada, and they take part. They all have their own separate cultures and holidays. Like the East Indians, they got Diwali. The Persians, they got Diwali, right? The Chinese got their Chinese New Year's and things of that nature. Right, all these different nations got their holidays and celebrations that they're supposed to be celebrating. But when they come over to America, what do? They come and partake in Christmas. They come and partake in Thanksgiving. They come and partake in Valentine's Day. Let me get a precept. Let me get a precept for that. Let me get a precept for that, man. Revelation 13. Right. Right. Let's get the deceitful scriptures, how these nations have been made drunk by the wine of the so-called white man, right? His philosophies, his ways of life, this Western civilization. Nations have been made drunk off of their wine, and I'm upset because I was not on the bus not too long ago, and just being around these heathen and just vexing me, man. Yo, I don't want to be around. I don't like being around these heathen for too long. And the Most has been putting it on the spirit for me to stop liking these heathen so much. I don't like and I mainly just don't like their men. I don't want to be around them. I don't like talking to them. Their women's whatever. I'm starting to not like their woman either. That's what Revelation 13 and 3. Salakia 13 and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's going to the nuclear missiles, right? Making fire rain down from heaven. The so-called white man was the first nation people to be able to come up with the technology given to them by the Most High to be able to make a weapon launch from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth and set off an explosion enough to kill thousands of people. Right, and he deceiveth, and it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Right, So they've been given strength to do these things, and through those things that they've been given strength to do, they've deceived the nations. Right? Let me get Revelation 19:2. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. Right? And hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. So America's gonna get all these heathen, all these people in here on this country in the Canada and America who want to rejoice over our downfall. The Most High is gonna avenge us, avenge the blood of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? Who are his people off of this land, off of all the peoples and nations, even including our own people who don't wanna come back to him. He's gonna destroy this whole land, and then he's gonna set up your kingdom in its place through his son Yahushua, right? These other nations have no business in partaking in Thanksgiving when all it does is celebrate our downfall. But you know how it is, right? Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The wrath of her fornication, it just goes into pure wickedness, man. Right? Idolatry, right? Blaspheming the Most High, blaspheming His people, right? And how they promote these things through their media. Through Esau's so-called scientists, philosophers, right? Their educational system. They got all the means to promote these things across the four corners of the earth, so people get drunk by the Western way of civilization. That's why you got all these different nations of people wanting to come over here and thinking this place is the most amazing place to live, right? The other nations, women are changing their cult. It's mainly the woman, because the woman's the beginning of sin. The women start coming off, seeing how the women are in Babylon, and they want to be like them. They start wanting to wear their dresses, their cultural clothes. They want to start dressing like the Edomite woman that in here in America wearing jeans, right? Start having more women's rights, feel like they need to stand up for themselves. They don't want to bend down to their men, as the order is, right? So they've drunk in the wine. All these nations have drunk in the wine. They're adopting the ways of Western civilization. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, right? You see how Obama, Trump, they all make meetings with different kings of the earth from other nations, whether it be China, mainly the U.S. allies would be the Israelis, right? The Saudi Arabians, right? Those people of those nature, and all those nations, they sat by and watched us go into slavery. They didn't help us, but in fact what they did was they came in and benefited off of our free labor instead, right? And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right. So going back to the judgment, right? It says, reward her in verse 6. It says, reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled fill to her double. So that just if they gave us a full glass, we have to give them a full glass. We have to overflow the glass times two, times extra glass. So we might as well just give them 2 glasses. So when these nations come and say, when they go talk about our slavery and complain about it, and they say, you guys have nothing to complain about, wasn't that big of a deal, right? Sometimes they go complain, they go be like, well, the Jewish people, they had a Holocaust, or they say, well, there was some white people that went to slavery too, and first and foremost, if you're gonna bring up the Jewish people, that was so-called white, that was Edomites on Edomite people, that was Edomites killing Edomites, persecuting other Edomites. And then with the slave trade, not even a slave trade, they were indentured servants. Esau even takes the liberty to say they were indentured servants, not slaves, not chattel slaves. So the indentured servants, after they had to serve of Edomites, which mainly are, I believe, Scottish and Irish, had to serve a certain amount of years. After the certain amount of years of serving as, I guess, lesser people, they get land and they get appointed certain things, right? So they didn't work for free, right? And first of all, none of their plagues, none of their nothing about, like, how long was the Holocaust? Like 5 years. How long was this indentured servitude? 7 years for only a portion of a whole nation of people. Meanwhile, how long did slavery last for the Native Indian, Latino, and the Negro man? approximately around 500 years. So I don't see how that can ever possibly match up to in comparison. So they like to make fun of us for it. Oh, okay, that's fine. Because the judgment that's coming to you, the judgment that's coming to them is going to be 10 times worse. Because the Most High actually cares about us. Right? Let me get this. Before I get another judgment scripture, let me show y'all some. Let me show y'all some. Which a lot of you that already have the ears to hear already know. Right? It says, where is it? Where's it? It's on 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So the Most High gave us the spirit and knowledge and understanding. He gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments, the testimony of Yahushua, right? And he gave us the understanding to be able to understand the scriptures, right? He hath not dealt so with any nation, right? He's not done this with any other nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So these nations haven't been jacked up the way we have by the Most High, right? And when we do something, we get punished as a nation immediately. The other nations, they get years onto years to do something before the Most High jacks them up. Right? There's one precept in Jeremiah talking about Moab. Right? See in Jeremiah 48 and 11. It says, Moab hath been at ease from his youth, and hath settled on his lees, and hath not been emptied from vessel to vessel, neither hath he gone into captivity. Therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed. Right? So these other nations are at ease in their state of mind. That's why when we bring up the scriptures, they don't tremble in the heart. But not until the real judgment comes will they really feel it, because they haven't known it. Well, Israel's known them, right? So this is a precept I want to get with Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30, verse 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee, is what the Most High is telling us. Right? Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And so the Most High is saying he's going to do these things for us. And once the Most High gives them to us for a prey, there's nothing they can do to escape it. And so let them be happy and have their fun for now, because the Most High is getting ready to curse them up soon. They're going to get double what we got. Right? It says Baruch 4 verse 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. Right? For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. When all these people, they come over here, these nations, everyone's calling them, you ask them what their nationality is, they be outside of America. They be like, I'm American, I'm Canadian. Well, so when America gets desolate, the economy collapses, right? The troops start coming and putting people into FEMA camps, concentration camps. The famine comes, and there's no food in the stores, right? And there's race wars going on in the cities, the civil wars. Right? They're gonna be grieved for the desolation of America. Right? Just like it says in Revelation, these people were crying that the great city was cast down. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come down upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Alright? O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Now the Most High is putting in this perspective of the city itself. Right? Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. So that's getting ready to happen after this final judgment on this place, on this whore Babylon the Great. Yeah, these heathen turn, it's almost their turn soon. They didn't feel the judgment before, but they're going to feel it right now. And the Most High is not gonna have no mercy on them. He have mercy on us. But when it's their turn, whew, we're gonna really give it to them. We're gonna show them how to oppress people, man. We're gonna show them what slavery is really supposed to be like. Cause we're gonna have the power to do it. We're gonna have the angels and the demons at our will to do these things unto these heathen. They'll never rebel again. That's why it's the last. It's the last one, man. It's the last time. There's never gonna be a kingdom to come up after Babylon ever again. Even when we set them free, they just won't have the will to fight, man. By the time we're finished with them, it's over. Their will to even rebel probably gonna be, it's just gonna be out of them. All right. So this is our blessing. It says Genesis 27 verse 27, and he came near. Let's just get to the point. Verse 29 says, "Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee." Now, as an Israelite, you being in these nations surrounded by all these other nations, the way they treat us, you see the way they treat us. They look down on us. They call us the prophets and bywords that the white man's put on us, right? They disrespect us, right? But look at the state of their countries. The Chinese people, they disrespect us, our men and our women, right? They look at us like we're scum of the earth. But look at the state of Hong Kong right now. The people are rising up against the government, and it's uproars, man. The place is polluted. It's got smog all over the place, right? Look at India, right? Look at all these different nations, countries, and you see why they want to come. They leave their countries to come over to Babylon, which Babylon, it has us in it. We're the ones who built it up. Right? We're the ones who made this country rich. Right? Not them. Not from what they did. Right? So they want to come over to benefit off of the things that we had to go through. Right? They hate us, but they want to come up in a country that's full of us, right? Where we're at. So that's why because they curse us, that's why their nations are cursed. Having them want to leave their countries in the first place. Right? So get ready, man. The time is coming. Because all these nations has in captivity, the Babylonians, the Grecians, right? You Edomites, you Arabs, the East Indians, all you guys have us in captivity. So the time is coming for us to put you in captivity. Right? Let's get it. Revelations 13 and 10. "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints." Okay, two more scriptures. Obadiah 16. And this is how you know when the Most High comes back. The day of the Most High has nothing to do with all nations. Well, it does have to do with all nations, but he's only coming to save one people, which is his people. Right? This is Obadiah 15. "For the day of the Most High is near, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been." So this is in relation to the time that the day and the year that the Most High comes back to judge the earth. Wait, actually, let me get two more. Let me get Jeremiah, right? Because Jeremiah was given the cup from the Most High gave Jeremiah the cup to give to the nations, right? So this is Jeremiah 25 and 15. "For thus saith the Most High Power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it." So they're gonna see which nations have to drink of this cup, and if they drank of this cup yet. Right? "And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them." So in this cup is already first thing the Most High. One of the main things the Most High mentions is a sword is going to be sent on them. "Then took I the cup at the Most High's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Most High had sent me." The first nation the Most High mentions is Israel, to wit Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment and hissing and a curse as it is this day. Why does the Most High mention us first? Well, we'll show you that real quick. We'll show you why the Most High mentions us first. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, Verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Right? So the judgment begins at the house of the Most High, which is His people. Right? So that's why we getting the curses first, and at the time of our curse is finished, He's not going to put us into captivity no more. He's going to give us a new covenant. Right? As it is this day, the next nation is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people, so all the Egyptians. And on the mingled people, right? Let's go down another one. Let's get verse 21, Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon. So we got so-called white men, the Chinese and the Japanese people, and all the kings of Tyrus and all the kings of Zidon and more African Hamite nations, right? Verse 23, Dedan, Tamar, and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and the kings of Arabia, and all that kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, right? And all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, right? So all these nations have to drink of the cup, same way we drank of it, except they're going to get double, right? Verse 29, for lo, I begin to bring evil on the city, which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished? That's what these nations, because they don't know the Most High. They don't know that, they think they believe in idols. They don't know our God is the real God, right? So when the Most High jacks us up, they don't know why we're jacked up. Right? They don't know that we sinned against our God, so we got punished, and we're in the state that we're in right now, right? And the Most High is not jacking them up, so they're thinking everything's just good. They don't know that we're in the situation that we're in because of our own fault. But the Most High is not gonna just not punish you guys. So that's what these guys are thinking in their head. They're thinking everything in the world is gonna keep going on forever, like it's nothing. Like there's no higher power to set things in order. That's foolishness. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahweh of hosts. So everybody's about to catch it, man. And our time's up. Our time's up, man. Let me get. I said I was gonna get one more, but Most High got me getting more scriptures through the Spirit. Let me get Lamentations. All right, Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So with the downfall of the Edom being the top nation of the heathen, all the other heathen are following with Edom. Right, but we're not going to captivity no more. He's going to discover the sins of Esau, which is our main oppressor. So it's their turn now, and it's our turn to be saved. All right, and there's one more precept, or was, I guess, since I can't remember it now, guess we can, that was good to leave it off at. All right, so with that, I want to say, Kal Hala Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham, and Shalom.